So masking, that's where we are. We want to mask some stuff out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and continue using this one. I was gonna use another one, but I'll just use this one. All right, so masking. The way that masking works is you have to select something. See, that's why that selection was very important. You have to select something in order to be able to mask it out. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to use those same selection tools that we've been using. So we'll use the let's say rectangular mark. Nah, let's do the rounded marquee. All right, and again, our modifier keys are that Alt because I want to draw it from the center. I want Shift because I want it to be a perfect circle. So I'm going to draw this out, and I'm going to hold the Shift bar at the same time because I want to move this up a little bit. So when I'm done, I'm going to let go of the mouse before I let go of the modifier keys. Then I let go of the modifier keys. So now I have this selection. The thing with masking, mask reads in black and white. Okay, and what it does is I need to go ahead and reset my colors because remember I had the purple when I was doing the eyedropper. So now my foreground color is showing purple. So remember these are foreground and this is background. The foreground is always in the front, background is in the back. And you can swap which one does what. Make sure you have the right tool. You can swap which one does what by clicking on it. All right, so what I want to do is I want to change it to the default colors, and that's this little square of black and white that's up at the top. I'm just going to click it one time, and now it changed it to the default colors. Okay, so we want to go over to our layers panel. I'm making sure that the layer that the image is on is selected, and I'm going to choose to mask it. And the way that I'm going to choose that is in the layers panel with it selected. I'm going down here in the bottom of the layers panel. You see where it looks like a square with a hole in it or a camera. You guys see that? And that's what is showing you, like a matted picture of a mask. I'm going to click on that and notice, I want you to notice that it masked it out, right? But whatever is white, we are seeing, okay? And whatever is black, we're hiding, okay? So white shows, black hides, or the, what is it? Yeah, we'll just do that one. All right, so, and it hides, because words are hard, and they drive me crazy. So we just masked out the background. And that's exactly what we did because we made sure it was at the default colors where white is the foreground and black is the background. And then we looked at the mask, and the mask is showing us all the areas that are hidden because they're in black. Remember? So whatever is black is hiding, and whatever is in white is revealing. Okay? So we have white conceals, black, no, sorry. White, yeah, and black reveals. That's the one that I'm trying to remember. I get it mixed up all the time, though. But anyway, so here we go. All right, so white shows, black hides. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. And now if we wanted to, we could take some text and we can make this like a postcard or something or whatever you want to do. But this is how we set up that image, okay? And that was with the rectangular marquee. If you chose to do your selection with the elliptical that was with the elliptical marquee. If you chose to do your selection with the rectangular marquee, it would do the same. Same exact thing. All right, I'm going to undo that. And the way that I undid is I just hit Command Z, or you can go up to Edit, Step Backward, or you can go to History Panel and just step backward in time. Okay, so either way, multiple ways to do lots of things in Photoshop. But right now I'm going to deselect it. And you guys remember that? Was that the Command or Control D? Yes, you said it. Good job. All right, so if I wanted to lasso, or, let's do magnetic lasso. You all know how it worked because we did it in the last video. But for now, I'm just going to choose magnetic lasso. And notice I was wild. I was going fast, but so it didn't do as great of a job as it did earlier. So the faster you go, the sloppier your job will be. That's okay. I already showed you how to do it the neat way. So now I can be sloppy if I want to. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and lasso around here and lasso here and boom. Okay, so now I have a lasso around him. And again, if I go to the layers panel and I click on the mask, I've masked out the areas. Now, it wasn't a great job because I see right here and there's some inconsistencies, and I can go back and fix that. We'll talk about that stuff later. But for now, we have a mask, and we masked him out, and that was more of a precise. So I just hit Command Z to go back to a time when everything was great. I'm going to hit Command or Control D. So anytime I say Command, if you're on a PC and you're like, oh, where's that Command key? It's Control. Or if I say Control and you're on a Mac and you're like, it's Command. Okay. All right. So, but I'll try to always remember to say both. But there are times that I forget. I'm human, guys. I'm human. All right. So down here where we have our magic wand or quick selection, I'm just going to choose a quick selection tool real quick. And I'm going to select out the background as much as I can. Okay. So there's the background. And remember the quick selection tool like we did in the other one. All you have to do is a few clicks. So now I selected the background. So let's see what happens when I mask this out. If I choose mask, it's taking away the background, but we didn't want that. We wanted it to take away the foreground. So you'll want to make sure that you're looking out for that. And if it happens, there are several ways to fix it. But for now, we're just going to hit Control Z. And we're going to go up here to this selection. And we're going to tell it, oh, we wanted to select the inverse. But just so you know, you see how these marching ants are around the outside and then they go around the inside or just around the outline of the person? That's telling you that that's the background, because if it was going around him, it would also be going around the side of his shirt. It would grab the whole object. All right, so we're going to go to Select. We're going to select the inverse. That's also Command or Control Shift I if you want a shortcut key. And notice now it's around him because what did I just tell you? Because it's around the bottom. Yeah, so it took the whole him. So now when we mask this out, it masks out just him and we see this background. See that background? Sweet, right? Too easy. Too easy. And the magic wand works pretty much the same as it did before. So those are the different ways to mask with the selection tools. The other thing that we went over, I'm going to hit Control D, and I'm going to, we talked about the layers panel in class, and the layers panel, Photoshop works in layers. So if you notice, there's one layer with the person in it, and then there's another layer beneath which has just white in it. So you can have a whole bunch of layers, but knowing how to manage them is very important. So if I think, let's say I have layer 0 selected, and I'm trying to select Dan, right, the silhouette. Well, when I go to select it, it's going crazy. And we're like, why? Why didn't this just select the guy? And because all it's seeing is white. So it selected all the white in the photo because we're not on the Dan layer, right? So you want to make sure that you're on the proper layer when you're selecting and masking and stuff, because if you're not, you'll select out the wrong thing. Another thing that I want to go over with you, I'm going to hit Control D, is just like when I select him, let's say I select Dan, right? And I do the mask. And let's say I do something, I'm like, oh, I want to change something. Well, there's a mask and there's the image. See that? There's the mask, there's the image. I can have either one selected. So if I have the mask selected or I have the image selected. Mask, image. See how I'm selecting either one? See how the changes are happening in the properties panel are changing as well? I want to make sure that I'm on what I need to be on for whatever I want to do, because if I'm on the person, like Dan right here, and now I say I want to, let's say I wanted to make a selection. Okay, so I'm selecting here. And let's say I wanted to mask it out, right? Well, then craziness happens. It doesn't mask. Nothing happens, right? So I had to undo that. But let's say I wanted to refine it. And let's say I wanted to use my brush tool, which I know that if I paint in black and white and I'm on a mask, it's going to paint out in black and white, right? Let's say I don't want to do the brush tool because I just thought about something. Let's say I'm going to hit Control D. I need to do something else to make that work. But anyway, and I don't want to go too deep, too far. But you just want to pay attention to what you're working on, because let's say we're on the mask, and then I want to make a selection, and then I, like paint in here. I'm going to make the paintbrush a little bigger. And let's say I paint with black. Notice now I'm painting, but I wanted to paint on his face for whatever reason, and that's not what's happening. I'm still painting on the mask. See that? So you'll want to make sure that you're on whatever layer you want to be on. In this case, I wanted to be on the mask, But there are cases where I'm not. You just want to make sure you're on the layer you want to be on. So that if you're doing something to photo, your intent is to do it on photo. If you're doing something to the mask, your intent is to do it to the mask. There are several things you can do and will mess up if you're not in the right place. And before you know it, let's say you've done things and you painted on the picture and you didn't mean to. And this picture is protected because it's a smart object right now, which is cool. But if it wasn't protected, and that's why I was saying I would have to rasterize it in order to paint on it to show you what I was trying to show you earlier, but I don't want to do that right now. But if it wasn't protected, I would be able to paint on this picture and not know it. I would close the file and then, oh my goodness, hang on. I would close the file and then I would come back to it later and realize, oh my gosh, I just painted on him. And that's destructive editing. There's no way to go back. So make sure if you want to be on that mask, that you're on the mask. If you want to be on the person, you're on the person. But it's very important that you understand that. But again, this is a smart object. It's protected. So I couldn't paint on the person. And that's another topic. So I don't want to go into that. But for now, we are good with masking. The next thing that we want to go into is quick mask mode. I can actually show you that real quick. Let me... No, I want to start. Well, yeah. Let me show you real quick. I'll go all the way to before this image was brought in here. I'm going to place this image again. I want this to be so long. Oh my gosh. I'm going to bring the image in again. Just because I just want it from the beginning. I'm going to hit enter to commit. Because anytime you have those X's that it just showed, you have to hit enter or commit to it, or it's not going to drop your photo. All right, so what I want to do now is I'm going to show you quick mask mode. And the way to do that is down here. We can click on that and notice that the layer panel turned red, okay? And if it turns red, we're in quick mask mode. So now what we can do is we can go to our brush and we can start painting. And notice we're painting in black and white because the mask reads in black and white. So if I'm painting, ooh, yeah, look at that. I'm painting in red, painting stuff out. I'm going to paint this. And our shortcut key for this is Q. So if you hit Q, you will see what we're doing is we're painting a selection. How cool is that? We can actually paint a selection. I love this. There's no mask on it. All we're doing is selecting, but we're painting a selection in mask. So I just wanted you guys to know that we can paint in quick mask mode and go back to Q, and you can continue your painting and go back and forth. So that's quick mask mode, which is kind of cool. And you want to get out of quick mask mode. The way you know you're out of it is by clicking the Q. So that's painting in quick mask mode. We're going to do a lot more with that, but for now, that's where we are. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you soon.